up, everybody? This is Shiftwork Podcast, episode 2. I am Mason.
Hey, it's Garrett.
Trey.
And we got another episode for y'all today. I've been looking forward to it for a while. It's been a couple weeks since the last one because we ran into some issues getting things uploaded. Hopefully that'll be solved this time around. We definitely got a couple more stories for y'all today. Still kind of getting the just kind of order for everything down, so I think we're just gonna jump right into it. I've got a story that's kind of a nod to me getting hit in the chest with the piss bottle while I was mowing last week. That I talked about last week. And like one of the jobs I mentioned, I worked for like a family-owned pressure washing company. I almost said what it was called. I guess it doesn't matter. Tim sold the business, but whatever. I have a million stories from this job. This is one of the more lighthearted ones because I definitely had a couple breakdowns of working by myself in the middle of the fucking nowhere, San Jacinto, Lubbock, Plainview. But in one of my managers, one of them, I only had one manager. His name is Travis. Coolest dude. Surfer guy, had dreadlocks. We'd go to town working together. He was always down to party. Great dude. He's like 35, had kids and shit, but literally like the most nice person ever. Every time we were with Travis, we'd get free shit all the time. You know, the van would smell like weed and we're going through a checkpoint. Border Patrol didn't give a fuck because Travis is so charming. But there was one night we were cleaning the pressure washing. It's all just concrete and walls and dumpsters and roofs and shit. So we were doing the flooring. Like the concrete outside the courthouse, which in our hometown courthouse is homeless central, as I'm sure it is.
Also ghost central.
Yeah, true. As I'm sure it is in a lot of cities. And my section was smaller than Travis's, so I finished a little early. I was like, all right, I put my hoses up and everything. And I was just, I'll go smoke a cigarette, wait for Travis to finish. He had probably 10 minutes. And I go to this like dark stairwell and I sit down and my butt's like squishy. And like I smoke like half the cigarette and then I realize I smell shit. And it's not like, oh, I stepped in dog shit, which is pretty fucking bad to begin with. And I stand up and I go to put my hand back there and I realize what happened. And I sat in homeless man shit on the stairs at the courthouse. And Travis got me on wearing board shorts as underwear underneath your jeans because the jeans would get fucking soaking wet. So you take the jeans off and then you get to drive home dry. And so I took my jeans off and I just threw them in a trash can. And the security guard came up like I was planting a fucking bomb. And I was like, you want to go look? See what it was? I sat in human shit. He was like, oh, okay.
You didn't tell him
big fat guy.
Look at your poopy butt?
No. But I felt like it was a pretty good, AB 1-2 punch. I got the piss and the shit. I've been puked on too, but I'll save that for another time.
You get a lot of feces stories, more than most men.
I think that's the only one. I mean, I'm sure there's another one I'm just not thinking of.
Yo, welcome to Shitwork.
Yeah, Shitwork podcast.
That was what we wanted to call it.
That was the original.
It was the original name.
But for legal purposes.
Well, not legal, just like I don't want to get pulled off of YouTube. Well, I mean, you want to get pulled off, but you get demonetized. Not that we're ever going to make any money. You never know. Doxed.
Canceled.
That's the right word.
Oh, man. That was at... Was it the new courthouse?
That was the haunted one, right? You were cleaning up the haunted one?
That's the old one.
That's the old one.
Yeah.
It was the new one. It was,
it was the new one.
2017.
Like by the bay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Damn, dude.
I
don't know why you would be cleaning up the old one.
The worst thing was it was like 4:30 in the morning because I would work 9 p.m. to like 7 a.m., which you think would suck, but we would get this age-old trick. You get the 64-ounce plastic soda cup. You get a 32-ounce Miller High Life, put about 2-3 inches of ice in the bottom, crank that sucker in there, put the lid on, put the straw directly into the can, get a nice little buzz going while you're cleaning Walmarts.
What'd I forget you through the shift, bro?
Dude, one time we were doing the front of a Walmart and this lady, we had it marked off, like, and there's like 2, 3, 4 entrances to every Walmart because they're fucking huge. It was the one like in Victoria, and it was marked off like don't go through here. and she was trying to like go out the door that was locked anyway, and she slipped and fell because there was water going through because we were washing, and it was all coned off. And I listened to her try and like tell the manager she was gonna sue him, and the guy was just having to like kiss her ass. And it's like
the Walmart manager.
Yeah, and I'm like, I wouldn't even worry about it because there's cameras. It's coned off, and the door is locked. You're not supposed to be over there to begin with. Man, I got heartburn.
Keep drinking those beers. That'll help.
Who the fuck you think I am? This is my first beer, dude.
Dude,
I did drink like 7 beers last
hang on.
night.
Speaking of cold brewskis, there's something to be said about performing manual labor and drinking beer.
Yeah,
I think
it goes hand in hand.
They
It's nice.
go together. And if you've ever most folks, we talked last episode about mowing yards, right?
Yeah. Oh,
The day you were old enough to just like actually crack a beer
or just
and
your
do work,
or
it's
like
the best.
when Trey's dad was like 18, he's like, have a beer, you know.
Yeah.
Now,
was
honestly,
good.
that's even better because you're like,
Mhm.
oh.
I think, believe it or not, I think my mom listened to this episode, but I'll spill the beans. There once was a time when I may have snuck some of my dad's Jack Daniels into a water bottle and went
Just
and
get that
I-
plastic taste.
Fill it back up with water.
Yeah, I was in the backyard building something. I forget what it was, but I was just sipping like a little bit of whiskey and water and working. It was great. It's like it wasn't a chore at that point.
Oh, yeah.
It was leisure. So nice.
Damn, my dad wasn't cool like that.
Well, he didn't
He
know.
didn't give me beer. Oh,
You know,
yeah.
he didn't know. Sometimes he gave us a beer. We were like older at this point, like after high school.
Yeah.
My dad, whenever I would do yard work, once I got to the age where I can do it myself, he would just like stand there and watch me, which pissed me
God.
off so
Oh yeah. My dad
much.
would watch me from inside, you know, full of tramadol and Chivas Regal, whatever the fuck you say it.
Cheers. Cheers.
I can't remember what my dad drank. My mom told me the other day, but it was
Oh, God.
let's just say it was plentiful.
My dad was honestly pretty. Like, he didn't watch me. I'll just say that. Which, that's kind of weird. And I definitely would not.
Your
have
dad's
liked that.
stern but fair,
Oh man.
at least from what I saw.
Yeah.
And we did a lot of yard work for your parents. Remember when we
did
tore
a
that
ton.
fence down?
Oh my God, that's a good one. Ordinary like 6-foot wooden fence, and we have this giant tractor jack chaining around each fence post. Standard fence post is usually sunk like 2 foot deep and has a little bit of concrete around it just to weigh it down and keep it stable, right? No. My father had them do it 3 feet deep, a little bit more concrete because he wanted this fence to not fucking go anywhere. You know, Corpus Christi, hurricanes, tropical storms, common occurrence. And they've been in the house for, at this point, 20 years. So this is 20 years ago. So he had him sink it deeper and build it more stronger. And I think he had told us this halfway through or not, but Mason and I had caught on, so we started just digging more and more. And the last fence post out of the entire fence that we had to tear out, we could not get up. We had broke boards that the tractor jack would balance on trying to crank this bitch out. So we're at the end of the day, and I'm sitting there, and I get the brilliant idea, staring at my old C1500 1995 Chevrolet pickup truck in the driveway, like, hey Mason,
Classic.
let's just fucking hook up
Classic.
to the bumper. I didn't have a hitch, but I just had a bumper. You know, this is an old V8, like pretty much hot
Yeah.
rod style engine at this point. And I just backed up into the yard, and we chained
It
it
was
up.
so loud.
Yeah,
Trey
I had
Flowmasters on it.
running pretty decent, and I backed up. Mason and I hooked it up with chains to this fence post, and I start giving it gas, and it's not going anywhere. I just started burning a rut into the grass, into my front yard there. We gave up. At this point, the only thing we could do was literally just dig the freaking China and try and like pull this thing out. Whatever the contractors did 20 years ago, I have no idea. But picture a giant 1 foot wide in all directions cross of concrete into the ground, 4 feet deep.
Oh my
And
god.
this is the post. It's like they were also on the last post when they were constructing it and had half a wheelbarrow full of concrete.
Yeah.
And they were just
We
like,
gotta
you know
do
what?
something with it."
We got to do something with this concrete. Fuck it. Pour the rest of it down in there. So, oh man, that fence post, we ended up like breaking it with the sledgehammer just so it was small enough to like put this concrete into my truck and haul it to the dump. Dude, it was a nightmare. And then, funny enough, my dad's new fence is now not just a 4x4 post, but they're 6x6 posts. It's 8 feet tall, and those things are sunk 3 feet deep with concrete. Like, whoever has to do that fence 20 years from now is screwed. They're not getting it up.
Oh, it's gonna be you, dude.
They're just gonna have to cut it.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to cut it flush with the ground and like try and put some dirt and grass over it and pretend it was never there again.
Yeah, you're gonna be pulling that out with your Tesla Cybertruck in 20 years.
Dude, I'd be okay with that. There's probably a button you could push to just unstick something.
Aren't they only like 50 grand?
No, they're 100,000.
Oh,
The
okay,
down
that's-
payment is like $200 or some shit like that. They're not expected. I
Sign
can't remember if
me
it was
up.
this year or next year. But
I would buy the shit out of that.
so all the stats on it are doper than any freaking truck out on the market right now. The only bad thing is it just looks horrible.
I think it looks it's
I
sick.
kind of like it.
If you were like
Aerodynamic.
a fanboy of Super Troopers or some
I mean, I love that
Never
movie.
even
like
seen it.
science fiction.
Oh, come on, you haven't.
world.
Haven't we watched that together?
I've never seen it, so I don't know. I might have blacked out.
No, not Super Troopers. Starship Troopers.
Oh,
That's what I'm thinking. of.
Also, never
yeah.
seen it.
That's like the sci-fi.
Oh, that's what I was
thinking
thinking
of.
of.
Yeah.
yeah.
I said it wrong.
Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
You've seen that?
No,
Brilliant book.
Oh
by the way.
my
I just said I haven't seen either of them.
Oh, jeez. On the topic of dumps,
Oh man, I had a
Mason talked about
pretty
sitting
gnarly
in
one this
dumps.
morning.
I talked about going to the dump.
I do love the dump. I will say.
It's.
They got some good dumps here in Austin.
I've never been to the.
I've been to-
I've never been to the
Austin,
one
dude.
here, but
Williamson County dump is
shocking.
good. Austin Community dump, very good.
it just feels good to drop
Williamson
shit off.
County. Where's that one at?
It's way up north. I think
Williamson
it's in
County.
Hutto.
Does Travis County have a? They've got to have a dump.
I don't
Or
know.
Where does
I hate Hutto. I delivered to
the Hutto Hippos?
in my new job, which I won't say what it is. I delivered to Hutto, and I went into a gun store, and I had these two big heavy packages, and I was like, "Yo, I'm here for Jordan Peterson." I don't remember the name. And
I don't think he can buy a gun. Editor's note: I meant Scott Peterson. You know, the guy who killed his wife, Lacey Peterson. That's a deep cut for you early 2000s murder heads.
I just said what first came to mind. Man, there's 14, 15 people in the store, and none of them are wearing a fucking mask, and they look at me like a leper because I have one on, and I'm like, "Yo, who's this for?" And no one would say anything to me, so I just set it on the floor and walked out and took a picture of it, and that was that.
Do you hear that? What is that?
What, the static?
Yeah. You get
Oh, it's the mixer.
No, it just came in just now.
Yeah,
Oh.
it goes up and down.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, that's why I have the music on there. He's like, "Oh, the music's too loud." I'm trying to keep everyone from bitching about the. I'd rather people be like, "Oh, the music's too loud," than be like, "Oh, the mixer's crackling." And hey, give me a month, and I can buy an interface where this won't happen. You know, I didn't even buy the stock photo. Fucking leave me alone.
stick with us, folks.
Bitch, you don't buy stocks.
Lots of fun coming. You're talking to the stock man.
I also don't buy stock photos. I also don't buy chicken stock. I make my own. I'm just kidding.
You
I
gotta
don't-
buy
I don't-
stock options.
I don't make my own chicken stock.
So, Mason, I wanted to talk about our first big demolition job that we did.
Oh yeah.
For old, what's his name?
Let's say Chris.
All right, just Chris.
Leave it at that.
Big demo job for a dude named Chris. He was when was this?
This
When did we do that?
was end of 2014,
Really?
or maybe summer 2014, because it was right before I moved out of my parents' house. I moved out of my parents' house January 2015.
Okay.
So yeah, I was 19, I believe. So you were 20.
So Mason knew someone who knew this guy, Chris, and he had like a whole separate dwelling unit kind of in the back of his lot. It wasn't attached to the house itself, but it was attached to like an overhang / garage. And picture it kind of like a spare separate bedroom back there with a bath. And he wanted to just gut this entire thing.
Yeah.
So he could rebuild it. And that's a crappy job. So what do you do when you have a crappy job? You hired two dudes like Mason and
I met
to
him
do it
at
for you.
a party. It was like a business that we knew people that worked there, knew the owners. And they were just having like, I don't even know, just like a kind of get together barbecue sort of thing. And I was just like drinking, playing beer pong.
No one else was raging though, right? But you and Chris were like knocking beers back.
Yeah. And and he was obviously a bit older than us. He was probably between 30 and 35.
Yeah.
And I needed a job at the time. And I think maybe I was talking to him about working at the business, whatever. Doesn't matter. He was like, "Oh, you've experience in like X, Y, and Z. You can help me for like a couple weeks doing this." And I was like, "Hey, I've got a buddy I've done these kind of things with, quite a bit before. I can bring him along, get done twice as fast. Trey got me a lot of gigs. I get Trey a lot of gigs, It's just kind of how it was because none of us were working actual job. Well, I had actual jobs at the time, but that's neither here nor there. It was
just saying words.
Fucking leave me alone, dude.
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Either way, he's like, all right, I'll hit you up. I get his phone number. And we show up to work for him, and great dude, but like so much energy. Like on 10 all the time, just like laughing, just powering through shit. And he was like ripped.
This is a corn-fed dude.
Worse.
Yeah.
Probably
big time.
6'4", at least 225. This guy worked in the oil field at the time when the oil field was fairly
he had
booming.
money to throw around.
He had cash for days. He paid us in cash all the time.
The
He
best
just kept
part
it in
was
his pocket.
after the first like week, maybe 2 weeks, maybe it was a few days, I don't remember, but he was like, "How much I owe y'all?" And I was like, damn, we didn't talk at all about what we were getting paid. And I remember he went and pulled out like $1,200 from an ATM and it was just like, here. And me and you split it. And I remember it was just the way more than we should have been paid for.
How many hours do you work, do you think?
I don't know.
We put in a
40?
decent amount of hours. And the thing was, it was because we were hauling all the shit to the dump for him too.
Yeah.
Which, if you are doing an actual job, quote unquote, and you have to go take stuff to the landfill, then you have to weigh that on the scale, and you pay per pound to go and use the facilities, right? If it's just your home project as like a citizen of the county or the city,
you show a water bill.
Free. Yeah, you show them your water bill, your license, proves you're a resident, you're good to go. But if you're doing it under contract, you're supposed to pay. Supposed to. So, Chris, again, worked in the oil field, so he's pretty much gone all the time. You put in a lot of hours when you work those jobs typically. Still, somehow, like Mason said, he was like fucking wired with energy.
Yeah,
we didn't grasp this until many moons later.
Yeah,
why he was so wired.
I don't.
But this guy's
I don't know
crazy.
If we could get into that.
We would get there
I don't
early
think
in the
so.
morning or like in the evening time to just go put in a couple hours of work, and the dude would like. We thought he was fucking sleeping because he just worked, like 24-hour shift or some shit. He's fucking in there drinking beer, like doing work, like renovating the bathroom or fucking moving the shower out,
and
breaking
he would
tile, whatever.
And we'd get there in the morning, like sometimes early, I don't know, like 6, 7 a.m. And he'd still be working, and he'd be like, "Oh, last night I got this, and knocked this out." And he's like, I remember he was like showing me photos on his phone. You know how on the top it'll say like the time? It was like today, 3:43 a.m.
He's a beast.
I don't know. Yeah,
It seems something.
We did a few rounds of jobs for him. It was like a week or two at a time. Probably never a full 2 weeks, but they were like spread out. Like he'd call us and be like, "Hey, can y'all do this? Can you do that? Whatever." And there was a specific time we were going to the dump for him a lot. I don't remember what he paid us, but it was like per run to the dump.
Per truckload.
Yeah, per truckload. So on those, Trey and I were, flying down the highway going down there, but I figured I would lead that into, just because we're talking about the dump, we did similar things for my dad, who, long story, he had a bunch of shitty rental properties that my grandma bought in, like a contract for deed where people are going to lose their house. You can buy the contract for incredibly cheap. A lot of the time these are in like, just kind of shitty parts of town. Hard to rent, whatever, but my family wasn't aware she had these. My grandma gets sick. Then my parents got to deal with them, so my dad would just pay us when we were like, we might have been in high school. I don't even remember, but my dad would pay us weekends or whatever. Just however, I don't know, like $10-12 an hour under the table. And there was one day, he's like, oh, it'll take probably about a week. You and Trey can go and cut some trees down at, this house. I almost said the address.
This is the Bluff one, right?
Yeah. Kind of off Paul Jones.
I consider it out.
Yo, shout out Isaiah Navarro's 1718 Paul Jones. Yeah, so we get there and we have like an axe or two, no chainsaws, thinking, maximum 10 mesquite trees, which ain't too bad. I don't even know how many trees it was. Maybe 30, 40, all over the lot, just like peppered. And long story short, a lot of dump runs. I remember one day we probably did 5-6 runs in this day, and the whole time I got my parents' water bill, and even at one point they were gonna call us into the office, and we were in Trey's truck, and they see his military stickers. And he just starts, shooting the shit with Trey about, being in the military, and they wave us on, So we thought we were gravy because, we got an in with the, the old veteran up front. And then at one point they're like, hey, you gotta, the foreman, whatever, wants to see you. And it's this little, trailer kind of off the path. So I'm like, okay, I go down, I walk in there, and the guy's got like a real bad limp and, like missing a hand, like he's got a hook hand, and he's like, sir, are you coming from street? And I'm like, yes sir, like I live with my parents, this is the house, I'm just like cutting a bunch of trees down for him.
They're checking you out, like, is this your address?
Yeah, essentially. So I just keep a straight face, I tell him, and he swings his computer monitor around, and it's a Google Earth image from like 3 weeks before of my parents' house, and there's no trees.
No trees.
There's like 3 trees, and they're like palm trees, not mesquite. And he was like, well, it doesn't look like you're cutting trees down from here. And I was like, you got me. Like what am I gonna fucking lie my way to this one? No way.
Oh my god.
And he was like, yeah, you're banned, you can't come back for 7 days, whatever. He scanned my ID, and then we went about our way and probably dropped it in a dumpster somewhere.
That's a pretty light sentence.
The fuck
7, like a week.
Banned.
We were
the
kids.
city dump.
We're like 17, and I looked 17.
Yeah.
Like, he knows I was just doing shit for my dad.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't, I wasn't trying to dupe the dump, you know what I mean? But actually,
we were duping the dump.
Holy shit.
Pretty big time.
We were totally duping the dump.
I have to tell this fucking story while it's in my mind because I forget about it all the time. Again, I gotta do long story short because the intros could be huge. I've had so many jobs. I worked for this oil field subsidiary making really toxic soap that stripped oil off of oil rigs, right? So I make the soap, put it in these giant tanks on a trailer, drive it out to oil field, back it up, and then I pump it into their tanks, or I'd put it in 55-gallon drums and just, roll in the drums, boom, get a signature, good to go. And this specific place, these guys like to fuck with me a lot. Because, if you're not actually in the oil field,
I'd fuck with them.
I was wearing, like, boots and skinny jeans and my work shirt and like a backwards Astros hat. I was 19. I was working with Juan. It was a Four Seasons.
Yeah, you gotta fuck with a young kid.
Oh, it gets worse. So I remember this one, I was just bringing one 55-gallon drum. And with those, you put them in a hydraulic tailgate truck.
Yeah.
Because they're heavy as fuck. And so and you have to have a hard hat to go onto these sites. We drive all the way out. I go to grab the hard hat. It was the fucking salesman truck and our salesman was like this real small lady, and it was a pink hard hat that fit me like a yarmulke.
Shit.
So I put this
For those
thing
of you
on.
who don't know, Mason has the biggest fucking head out of anyone you've ever seen.
Yeah, so a normal one would have been small anyway. You know how hard hats are. They got the little
the
brace.
thing on the inside.
Yeah, so I'm like, man, and these guys have fucked with me before. And I'm like, hey, can you get a signature? And they're like, talk to John. He's in the next building. I go over and I'm like, hey, John, can I get a signature? He goes, talk to fucking Mark in this building. They run me around for 20 minutes going to different places. And what am I going to do? Just be like, sign it. If I get the wrong person, I'm going to get written up at work. So eventually I end up inside this building, which is, it's all outside, most of the time. And I'm in this hallway and this guy's like, are they fucking with you? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, I'm the foreman, come in here. I go in there. Guy has 2 hook hands. He's missing both his fucking hands, which I'm sure he works inside now because he lost both. He probably injured his way to that position because, like, we'll give you $2 million in a great job instead of 10.
Oh my God.
And so the guy's like, yeah, man, I'm sorry about that. And he's just like apologizing for the way his his men are. And it was the cleanest shit I've ever seen with his hooks. Takes one off, pops a pin into it, grabs my fucking clipboard and signs it like this, and then like takes the pin out, clips it back in, and was like, you have a good day, brother. And I was just like,
Jesus.
Does he have a special pen that fits in the thing?
He just like shoved it in. It was just like a regular pin.
Well, how big was the hole?
It like a little bigger than a pin, essentially. So it might have hit some kind of thing with like a spring-loaded thing where you can put shit in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. I haven't thought about that in forever. Wow. But yeah, it was super cool. And I broke my foot at work and got laid off pretty shortly after that, so I never went back.
How'd you break your foot?
We heard this.
Last episode, I told it on the last one, but I just mentioned it briefly. But yeah, Pepsi machine.
Pepsi machine. That's right. That's right. I was gonna say candy machine.
Now I wear steel toes almost every day as a result. Never let my foot heal either, because I got tired of taking the boot off to drive. So once it like stopped hurting, and now when I stub my toe, the pain like echoes through my foot for about a day.
I got one of those too.
Probably have like
my right toe.
A pinched nerve or something in there.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure if you took an X-ray, I still got some fractures. But I tell people, and they're like, "Oh, that must have hurt." Dude, I've like hit my elbow and it hurt more. I guess I was just in shock or whatever. Didn't really ever hurt that bad. And then by the time I got to the ER, they gave me pain meds and then I put the boot on and it was gravy. And then I got my wisdom teeth taken out, so I was just out of it for like a week or two.
I've been blessed to not have that many bad injuries from work. I'm thinking, besides the stub your toe or hit your thumb with a fucking hammer, I haven't really had that many injuries from work, so to speak. There was once when we were mowing for the city, and it had just rained, so the grass and all the clover was really wet. I'm driving the riding mower on this big hillside on the side of an overpass, right? So they can get pretty steep. And this is actually in the same plot where Mason had a piss bottle thrown on him. This was had a lot of negativity in this one area of grass. And so I'm driving the riding mower. The rest of the guys are off somewhere else weed eating. I can't see them. And I'm just trying to make it down this hill because if you lose traction, then you slide. And if you slide, you're going into fucking traffic. So it was kind of sketchy, whatever.
Yeah, you don't got no brake lights.
Or brakes, dude. It's just go or stop going.
So you were going up and down?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were supposed to go sideways.
Yeah, but I couldn't because I would slide.
Because it was too steep.
So I was just pretty much like fucking taking it head on and then riding it down and then like curving off at the end.
Uh-huh.
So I'm riding this mower and it starts clogging up. And, I've been mowing for years, right? Never fucking put your hand into the chute of a mower. If it's on, you wait until it's off. This dims the rules, right?
This is Trey's mower, just the tips.
Yeah.
Don't touch lawnmowers that are on.
Don't touch mowers that are on, boys and girls. So on this riding mower, right, you've got your compartment where the blades are going. You definitely fucking don't mess with anything in there. But there's a chute that comes off to the side, and there's nothing moving in that chute. It's just where the grass exits. So I look down, and this is where it's clogged, right? So, okay, just this once, I'll reach my hand down, grab this grass clump.
I've had that thought so many
and
times.
remove the
just
grass,
this once.
right? What I didn't know is that I had just ran over an old palm tree branch, and this was like broken up and fucking charged with, horsepower underneath this chute. And as soon as I moved that clump of grass, a chunk of palm branch shoots out like a bullet and rips my fingernail all the way back and off my index finger.
Ugh.
My right hand index finger. And I look down, I just see blood pouring. Your hands often bleed a lot, just like your face. I look down,
What are you trying to
blood
say?
pouring. It starts hurting, and then it almost goes numb because it hurts so bad. All I could do is literally, and it's kind of creepy to think about, but just look at my fingernail and just kind of push it back over and push it back down to where it starts to go before it hurt too much. And I couldn't do anything. I'm on this fucking mower that takes 2 hands to move. All I did was just sit down on my finger and just try and apply pressure to my finger.
It's
And
that
hopefully,
Eagle Scout mentality.
Yeah, I know a thing or two. And just trying to apply pressure to stop the bleeding, and like hopefully my nail doesn't stay off permanently. So now I'm bleeding out my finger. It hurts like a bitch. I've got to drive this 2-handed lawnmower back over to my truck. I kept a first aid kit in my truck. So here I am, weaseling it, finagling it down this slippery hill. Finally get to the sidewalk, go over to my truck. I still have no idea where Mason and the other guy is. All I could do is like pull this first aid kit out with one hand. I'm trying to clamp my fingernail down, which only hurts. The harder you apply pressure, the more it hurts. And I pull out my first aid kit, which, bad Eagle Scout, hasn't been fucking looked at in years, and everything's literally so old. Like the band-aids don't have stick to them anymore. The tape is just dry rotted. So I'm screwed. I found an old rag in my truck that was mostly clean, and I just like tied it around as best I could. And
Yeah, that redneck Band-Aid.
Yeah, dude. Fortunately, my girlfriend at the time worked at like a vet tech and had access to like some gauze and like tape and shit like
Ketamine.
Give you some horse
I
tranquilizers.
did not get any animal
Pharmaceutical
pain meds.
cocaine, phenobarbital. All that, dude. We had some fun with that shit. Don't lie. Come
Shut
on.
up.
I'm just kidding.
Anyways, she was fortunately like downtown on her lunch break and brought
Downtown.
some shit over to me. Very thankful for that. I think it's why my fingernail's still here. But if you look at it, it does like not match any of my other fingernails. It grows weird and kind of to the left now. It's like flatter.
I kind of see it.
It's not good.
I fucked up a fingernail at work too. I those foldable dollies. They like fold out long ways.
Yeah.
So I had a bunch of stuff on one of those, and I was folding it back up together, and I guess it didn't latch all the way, so it slid down on my finger. Like a chunk of metal and a screw just right down on my finger, lopped it off pretty much all the way. I did what you did actually. I wrapped it in a like paper napkin, paper towel, and I sat on it.
Yeah.
But I was bleeding on the packages that I was delivering.
That thing bleeding.
God.
Walkie slime.
Finger and hand like injuries are the worst because you are forced to use your hands continuously. Like if you
move your hands more.
cut
than
your
anything.
cuticle or your finger, it's never gonna heal for weeks because you continuously are getting into your pockets and doing more shit with it. It just sucks.
I worked at a certain non-chain sports bar where I was a bar back, and I cut. And I've had the same exact job at other sports bars since. In every single one, you're cutting limes and lemons and shit, oranges, whatever, for the bar. They have the slicer where you put it in, boom, you get 5 slices. Time efficient. Don't fuck your hands up. This one, we had to cut them by hand. They wanted them super thin. You cut each lime into like between 6 and 10 pieces because they were, you know,
Stingy.
yeah, they're being stingy, and
Don't be stingy.
I bet I'm coming up in May. So I cut the same corner of this knuckle off 3 different times, and now it's just like it's scar over scar over scar, and there's just this giant bump because I kept cutting the same thing off. This is like 5-6 years old. I bet you can't even see it in the
You'd be
camera,
a beast at playing bloody knuckles. Back
Oh
on the
yeah,
playground.
remember
but
that game?
only on this
The
one. Though.
corners?
Look, I got it on here too.
That's kind of creepy, man.
I don't know how I
to be
cut this
honest.
one, but that one's been there forever. Yeah, dude, from working in kitchens and shit, my hands are so fucked. I have a permanent callus on my right pointer finger on the side from just like opening jars. Like I have like no feeling right here.
From open.
So you got our
Just-
mailbox
just
open
opening
today.
shit.
Jesus.
This shit was
Oh, yeah.
tight.
Yeah,
Hurt my finger. I couldn't open it.
I'm also genius.
Had to get-
I'm just kidding.
Big Mason.
Big
Appreciate it,
Mason.
bro.
You know, you call me fat.
I don't know what I'd do without
I
you.
know I'm getting some weight in
Baby.
quarantine, man. I'm trying to lose it. I went running yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, I do have a great story with working at. Man, I'm really almost saying the names. Whatever. I don't care. I worked at Hard Knocks in Corpus. It doesn't matter. No, I don't think.
Nobody knows what that is.
I know, that's what I'm saying. And I don't think regardless, I don't think anyone. Also, my best work story of all time is from there, and I can't tell it.
Oh yes, you can.
No, maybe
Let's
if
save
we.
that one for like a special episode or something. It's really good.
It's a good one.
We'll see if I want to throw my whole
X-rated.
future down the toilet. But either way, I actually forgot about this until today when I was trying to, think of good stories to tell. And if anybody is a Cowboys fan, you might know Greg Hardy.
Little pinche Cowboys.
And yeah, Hard Knocks was one of the more poppin' sports bars in Corpus. It's a great bar. Huge.
Had celebrities come through there.
Oh yeah, fucking
Chris Kattan.
Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd went in?
Yeah, it was-
Floyd Mayweather
he
was
did a
in
signing.
fucking Hard Knocks.
You
Yeah,
topped my Chris Kattan
was-
pretty quickly.
It was right before. Yeah,
God.
Chris Kattan got drunk before his meet and greet and fell asleep in a booth. Yeah, the dude from fucking Night of the Roxbury.
Holy shit.
But either way,
I
so
had no
we're
idea.
doing a signing for Greg Hardy. During signings, I would work 8 a.m. to about 4 a.m. With a 30-minute break, which pretty rough. But I'd make like $700 in tips plus $6 hourly, so totally worth it. And you're so busy the whole time, it doesn't even fucking matter, And my managers were buying us shots. I was like 20 years old, That's how I got to like Rumble Mints. It was fine. So I had worked a lot of fight nights, which were a similar capacity. Honestly, fight nights might be worse because
absolutely.
you're paying at the door, and they would just let people in over capacity. With this, you sell tickets before. They're $50 a pop. It's $50 for a picture, whatever. And we get ready all day. I like triple stock everything, I got extra beers like all in the cooler, extra bar caddies ready to go. I'm like set up for the night, I even opened new racks from the back, like everything possible I could do to stay ahead. We were like even like changing all the channels to make sure there's no rival Cowboys teams because the fucking NFL players get wasted, start yelling about shit. We didn't want any of that to happen. And my managers, while kind of debaucherous, were like good dudes, good at their job. And just kind of knew how to handle this because they had done it many times before, even with more high-profile people like fucking Floyd. Like, who's more high-profile than fucking Floyd Mayweather? And
Not Chris Kattan.
yeah, not Greg Hardy either.
No.
Like he was, I guess, famous, but I don't know much about football. I don't think he did very well. But either way, he's like a celebrity. He's coming in, He's like he's got bottle service. He's pouring the Patron bottle into his mouth, into girls' mouth. He's hitting on bartenders that are shooting him down. He's getting mad.
That's a cool guy.
That's a cool guy. And so at one point, I'm just doing my job. It's busy as fuck. I'm rocking and rolling, bringing pint glasses from the from the dish pit. And I get to the bar, and Shane, our GM, like real short guy, like waddles over to me. And he's like, Mason, like you gotta come outside. And I'm like, whatever. So I go outside, and I assume they just need me to bust tables or something because like servers can't keep up with it, whatever. So I just start like busting tables, and Shane's like, no, you gotta change the flag. And I'm like, what? So if it's Cowboys, Spurs, Texans, whatever the big game is that day, we have flags for everything. You know, even if it's fucking Red Sox, if it's World Series, we got a Red Sox flag. So, you know, Texans Cowboys rival. It was Texans, I believe, that night or that day, maybe the day before, because it was the Cowboys bye week where they weren't playing. That's why he was there. You know, they do press and shit. And we had left the Texans flag up. And Greg Hardy's wasted, and he's like super pissed off about it. So Shane wants me to change the flag. And so Shane's like, wait here, just take it down. I'll bring you the other flag. And I'm like, all right. And I'm taking the flag down, and there's like, I don't know, 75 people outside. And there's someone with like an over-the-shoulder camera. I've looked. I don't think it was on local news or anything, but someone had like a fucking camera.
Like a news camera?
Yeah. But there wasn't like a label on it or anything. They didn't look like there were no cables running. I don't know why the fuck they had it. Maybe his press guy, whatever.
Paparazzi.
And he's screaming like, look at this motherfucker. Like, I'm on the ladder taking it down, and he's pointing at me, and there's lights and like 100 fucking iPhones. And he's like, look at this motherfucker decided to fly the Texans flag, you pussy, blah, blah. And I'm like not even phased. I'm just like, fuck you, dude. Like, I'm just here doing my job. I don't watch football. I don't give a shit. And I'm like taking the flag down. I get the other one up, and he's like, that's right, motherfucker, blah, blah. And everyone's drunk and cheering for him and shit. And I'm like, man, fuck this guy. So I go back to bussing tables, and I see a to-go box that he signed. And I open it.
Would you get a to-go box signed by him?
Well, no, this is the thing.
I feel like it would just smear from all the steam coming off.
This is the thing. He didn't sign it. He wrote his name on it so other people wouldn't take it. And I went to take it, and I felt something rattle. And I open it, and there's expensive-ass Gucci sunglasses in it that were his that he took off and put in the fucking to-go box. So I took them, and I brought them back to Dish Pit, and I was like, I don't even want to hawk these. So we had hired a new bar back. It was his first day. His name was David. Cool-ass dude. He was like 35, lost his oil field job. He had like 4 kids. I handed him to David, and he was like, I was like, go hawk these. And he was like, no way. And I'm like, they're Greg Hardy. He's like, oh, maybe I can get more money. And then he gave me a Vyvanse.
Jesus Christ, dude.
All in all, good night.
Yeah, I'd never taken it before. I got through that night. The rest of the shift, easy as fuck. Girls would be like, can you help me? I'm like, it's already clean. I've been running around. And yeah, I remember I made like $680 that night, plus my hourly, 6 times fucking 20. So yeah, I made like quite a bit of money, almost like $800.
All this work talk makes me want a beer. You want a beer? Anybody?
Good right now. We're at the end of
I'll take another beer.
no alcohol and some other stuff diet.
I mean, you did hiccup and drink the heaviest
for someone's birthday.
shit possible.
Heaviest shit possible.
I mean, not possible. I mean, you ain't out here drinking Guinness, but you could have had a Coors Light instead. You grabbing, and you decide to snap me with a Shiner Bock like you ain't denying beers
Oh, I did
on our show.
that night too.
Oh, hey, B, you're waking up.
Wakey.
Hands off, Snakey. I hate that. My dad used to say it. You got it from My Name is Earl. Also, I brought my dad up a few times. I just want to go on the record. Not a fan. Don't speak anymore.
I'll drink to that.
So, cheers.
I don't speak to my dad either, bro.
Oh, come on.
Mine's pretty. He's all right. It's pretty cool.
Your dad's cool.
It's pretty cool.
Never met him.
Only cop I've ever liked.
He's been on Cops.
Ooh, that's a good story.
And your dad wasn't a dick on.
What did he do?
Your dad would be great dad on the show.
Oh, dude.
What did he do on Cops?
No, let's wait until he retires. No, he was like a cop on the show Cops when they came to Corpus back in the late 90s. I think 97, 98.
Yeah.
And they were like riding with him when he was on patrol. And I went through some deep YouTube realm to go and find the video. It's on my Instagram. But basically, there were 2 instances. One, he pulled up to a domestic violence call to the house, and the father, pretty fucked up, probably from alcohol, was complaining about his son like bit him and tried to fight him or some shit, and he like walked off. So my dad goes out and around the house and runs into the guy in the back parking lot of like this apartment / kind of projects complex. Runs into the guy in the parking lot. He's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And then the guy starts to walk away. So my dad calls him again. He's like, hey, come here. And the dude just takes off and jumps a fence into some rando's backyard. My dad jumps the fence and goes and fucking tackles the dude in his backyard. And the cameraman's like huffing and puffing, jumps the fence and follows him. And my dad tackled that dude and like handcuffs him. He's like, "What are you fucking doing? Come here." And so they finally catch up to the dude, just another drunken domestic violence call on good old Corpus Christi. Anyways, that was one episode. The second episode,
I think I remember the second one because I don't
it was
remember that
another
one.
couple years later. He just pulled up on some dude who's like huffing paint.
I thought it was two guys.
Back when huffing paint was a thing, like on a street corner.
Like, what are y'all doing?
And he's like, "Oh, we're not doing anything." And the guy's got like fucking gold spray paint on his face.
You gotta do the. I've heard. You gotta do the metallic ones. That's where that good shit's at. You know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure.
I've seen Mad Max.
There's like so many better ways one could get high from just like snorting a fucking spray paint.
I mean, you could buy 2 4 Loko
Well,
for the
I think you
price
sprayed
of a
in a
can of
bag
spray
and then you
paint.
huff
Yeah,
it
you
back.
sprayed in a bag.
Dude, I don't know. But yeah, that was one, and so I think they.
I wonder
got
what.
that guy off the
I
street,
wonder
too.
what glue is like.
Sounds like a sticky situation.
You know, like I've painted some tiny rooms with no ventilation and gotten a little woo, but you know,
been
I've
to a
never.
horse farm?
I never glued a room. I've seen gummo.
I will say it's not my shitty work, but I've got some funny stories. I've been on 2 ride-alongs with the CCPD. Both good experiences. I recommend everyone to do them. They're free. And once I didn't have any New Year's Eve plans, so I went on a ride-along New Year's Eve.
Yeah, you were
Downtown.
posting it on Snapchat.
No, I wasn't posting
allowed?
it, but I would send.
That's what it
I
was.
videoed was nothing sensitive or didn't have any faces or anything. But it'd be like me.
Just ass.
It'd be like my face, like holy shit, check out what's happening. And it's just ass.
1 3
And,
1 2.
It was like to Mason and some close friends, but it was wild.
Put
We
on
started
Worldstar?
at about 6 p.m. The shift was supposed to end at like 2, and we didn't get off until like 4:30 in the morning. And believe it or not,
Sounds
multiple calls that we responded to were like interconnected with the same family. It was fucking wild and very busy. It's just a good perspective, because you don't believe how fucking stupid people are until you go and do an experience like that where you interact with like some dumb motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Just digging
Yeah.
holes deeper and like making things worse for other folks.
Literally
So,
half the population is stupider than the average person.
never thought about it.
That's math, bitch.
That's math. Yeah, you don't even
I went
gotta
to
look.
college.
You don't even gotta look it up. Tell me
Mason,
what
I know
area code you want to
everything.
move into.
What?
I'm just fucking with you.
I went to elementary school with a girl whose dad was a cop. He was on Cops.
Nice.
Allison Abbott, what's up, girl? I had a big crush on you
Yo, alliteration.
in elementary school,
Hey.
but
Well, you had a private
your dad's a
elementary
cop,
school?
so I ain't gonna do
Which
that.
private elementary school did you go to?
I went to St.
What was it called?
Pius the
St.
10th
Pius.
Catholic school.
Okay. Did you have nuns as teachers?
No, it wasn't
Did
one
they
of
have
those.
big rulers? You
No.
slap your knuckles?
No, just I was gonna say his real name. I shouldn't say his real name.
Who cares?
No, I was about to falsely accuse him of like spanking me.
Let's
I don't
not
wanna-
do
I was
that.
literally about to
Let's
make a
not
joke
do
that he's
that.
probably done something like that.
No, he was a nice dude.
What? They can't use the internet?
Well, honestly, the
Catholic school.
best teacher I ever had, Mr. Mason. That was his name. Dave Mason. Boom. Good guy.
What do
He
you-
was in the military.
What are you trying to say?
I think he went to Korea and like married a Korean chick.
I made
Yeah.
Korean barbecue chicken today.
His
It was
daughter's a
fire.
bitch. I went to elementary school with her. I don't remember her name.
Did you ever do that invitational shit?
Fuck
Oh,
no.
I did. Trey, did you
Yeah,
do
I
that?
did it. I did every year.
Of
Dude, it
course
was-
you did.
Did I tell you how I
Like
got?
you have any fucking say in the matter as like a 5th through
I mean,
7th grade.
I mean, you do.
No, I
Not
dude, I
really.
said my parents. I was skipping baseball practice every week to go.
yeah,
It hurt my
We'd
soul.
literally go from like practice to
Why didn't you just say no?
take a shower and go put a blazer and tie on.
I couldn't.
It was kind
My
of
parents
fun.
made me do it, and they paid for it.
It was kind of fun.
It was not
Because
fun for me.
although I was in scouting and knew kids from other schools, you interacted with kids from other schools, like across Corpus, which is how every time I go back to Corpus, no matter where you're at, you fucking see someone you know.
Yeah, that's
big
true.
small town.
No matter who
it
you
was
are.
honestly from doing stuff like that, and you'd meet kids who ended up going to Ray or ended up going to
I know
Carroll
so
or
many
wherever
people
else.
that I don't honestly don't. I know you, but I can't even remotely remember how I
Yeah.
met you. But the thing with invitationals was, like, I went to a school where my 8th grade graduating class was, I think, like 15 people,
Oh,
and my
God.
kindergarten class was like 8. So you see the same kids all the time. So especially when you're like in like 7th, 8th grade, and all of a sudden you're in a room with like 20 dudes that aren't like the country fucking bumpkin shitheads you go to school with, and there's like a bunch of girls. It's like, damn, this is cool, but the setting like
Setting
fucked it up
sucked.
because you got to wear a suit, and I like wanted to wear skinny jeans, and you know
I'll
I
give
was.
you, I'll
know?
give you one fucking quick little story about that. There was, they force you to dance, and they force you, both the guys and the gals, to ask one another to dance. And they'll take turns on like, all right, guys, this is your turn. Go take a seat, and the girl's gotta come ask you to dance, right? And so it's a fucking gamble on who you ask.
You don't want to be
and
picked
who
last.
No.
comes to ask you.
It
You
happens.
can't really turn a gal down if she just comes up and asks you. So this one time,
Wait, why
It-
not?
You'll get turned down. I got
That'd be
turned down.
rude.
Like, oh,
well, that's
I'm gonna
funny,
go
you got
dance
turned
with.
down. I'm saying it's rude to turn someone down in a
Those people
giant
know how to say no.
public setting, and a nice young lady comes up to ask you to dance, and you say no, and it's just to practice dance moves. It's not like you're fucking going on a date or anything, right?
Feels
Anyhow-
like it when you're in 7th grade, though.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
for sure.
Anyhow, this one time, I was running out of time. I planned on asking one lady, and she was taken. My backup taken. I look around. Everyone's got a partner. I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta go ask this one girl. We had danced before, like a week or two back, and I think I pissed her off, or she pissed me off, or something. Probably I pissed her off. And so I was trying to stay away from her to not hear it. Anyways, I ended up having to go and ask her to dance. She's like, okay, that's fine. She opens her mouth, and what appeared to have been a ton of fucking Oreos in her mouth.
well,
It's like
that
she
is
was
That's my
not-
kind of woman.
That is
fucking
that is not where I
Oreos,
saw
dude.
this going.
I did not grasp it, but there's just like maybe chocolate, just a lot of like.
She just snacking.
Maybe she was using charcoal toothpaste before it was
I
cool.
don't think
but
that was. Yeah, that was
it
a long
looked
time
like
ago.
she'd eaten a bunch of Oreos and didn't brush her teeth, and I couldn't leave it, man. It was just once you see something like that, you just keep staring and you can't think about anything.
I'm pretty
else,
good at bypassing
and you're not
shit like
listening to what she has to
I'm
say.
bad.
I'm a horrible.
but I'm a.
I just bring it up.
I asked her. I was like, "Were you eating Oreos?" She said no. I didn't know what to say after that, and never spoke to her again.
She's like, they were Newman's Own cookies.
I have a question. What was the aim of invitationals? What did it lead
Teach
to?
you
yeah.
etiquette. If you're in a formal setting, you know what forks, knives, etc. to
Okay.
use.
Yeah,
how to use them.
Trey, what was the schedule? Because you didn't do the fork knife shit every
That
time.
was at the end.
It
That
was
was
at
the
the
thing.
it was
That's
at
what I
the
thought it
end
was.
every year. I have a story about that though when you're done.
Each time you meet, which is like what, once a month or like
Yeah, once a month.
Yeah, it was pretty simple. Once a month. Each time you meet, they teach you a different dance. So they start off with like a basic foxtrot, and then a waltz, and then a swing.
Salsa.
It was fun. You learned how to do different dances, right? And so later on,
The whoa.
high school and shit, if you had to like go to a formal occasion or a wedding, you knew how to do all these things. So that was neat. Taught you kind of how to dress, and then they taught you like courtesies and like stuff like that.
What they didn't tell you is that if you just didn't know any of that shit and you drank 6 beers at a wedding, that it would all come naturally.
Yeah.
No kidding.
But I do have a story. So it's 6th through 8th grade, right? The reason
6th through
why,
8th?
yeah, I think you could have done it in 5th, but I did it 6th through 8th. So the big reason why, like, I went, obviously, like, my parents wanted me to do some shit like that, but my aunt was like on the committee, and my cousin was like one of the ushers. So like when you're in high school, you're done with it, you get paid like $40 to like help out or whatever, you know. So that was and we got a discount doing it. So that was a big part of why I went. And like I just bit my tongue the whole time, even though it was like you're begrudgingly doing it, whatever. And it by the end of it, it wasn't too bad. But I remember 8th grade, it was the last one, and they pick random people to do the dinner thing, and they give you a tiny plate of food, and you got to use the right forks, pull the chair out, all that shit. But at the end of each single class, you like have a partner, and you escort them. Like you put your elbow out, they put their arm in yours. You walk them to the table, you get them like a punch and like a cookie or whatever, and you like thank you, and then you go back, right? Well, for whatever reason, these chocolate chip cookies were straight fucking fire. Like the best I've ever had in my life. So the last one, there were a bunch, and I look left, I look right, and there's no one looking, so I put like 4 of them in my pocket.
Oh, man.
And in a napkin. I was a savage, but
No,
I don't want.
put
I don't
it
want
straight in there.
I don't want. I don't want chocolate
I've
in
done
my
that.
pants. I'm
I've done that.
I'm not worried about the lint. I just don't want the chocolate to melt on my
cookie.
pants. My mom whooped my ass. Either way. And then I had never been picked to do that shit ever. Because what are the odds? There's like 80 kids in the room, and they pick like 15. The odds are pretty good you're never gonna get picked, right? Well, I got picked for this one, and like I pull out the chair for whoever my partner was. I remember who it was, but I was not gonna say her name. And then I go to sit down, and they fell out of my pocket. And the lady who's the head of the thing, her name was Catherine Mason, started going. She was like, "Did you steal cookies, Mama?" And I knew it was the last one, so I literally just like kind of jogged to the parking lot and called my mom and was like, "Yo, I'm done early.
God.
I took the cookies and they fell out." And my mom just like laughed and was like, "It's
that's
fine."
so funny.
Yeah,
I can
Wow.
totally see that happening.
but it was, dude. It wasn't even because they were that good. It was just like, these are fucking good. I'm gonna save some for later. It wasn't like I have to have more of these cookies because I'll never have them again. It wasn't like that.
Sure.
And honestly, now that I think about it, maybe that wasn't the last one, because I think the last one your parents come.
Yeah.
So-
they end each year with a big dinner, and your parents come, or it's like your father or your mother is your guest.
Do they like present the whole family?
No.
No. It's
But-
just you and one
but they're
parent,
like-
and you go and sit at a table with like 3 other fucking parent children.
But it was
Sounds
bizarre.
awful.
It was bizarre because they're like, dance with your mom, dance with someone else's mom, and it's
Ugh.
like,
Tell me who to dance with.
well, it was fine because like I had friends who I'd stay at their house, so
You
dancing
dance
with
with their mom.
Yeah, but it was. I'm not gonna say who, because there's a very good chance
Who?
that they can
Whose
hear.
mom?
I'll tell you outside. You
I
don't know
bet
who
I
it is.
his mom.
You know who it is, Trey.
Is she crazy?
She's crazy. The one mom you wouldn't want to dance with. Anyone else would have been cool. She's such a bitch, dude.
I bet you everyone wanted to dance with
she-
Mason's mom.
Please
I know.
let it
I know I do.
die. I'm so tired of people calling my mom hot. It's been going on since I was in like 5th grade,
She a
dude.
baddie.
Dude, one time, like I don't remember exactly how, but I was hanging out with one of my friends in the neighborhood, and I was like, yeah, let's just run inside and like get baseball glove or whatever. And my mom was like in her room, like changing clothes, but you could like see through. It was like by happenstance, you could see all the way through like the hallways.
Stars
And one of my
aligned.
friends saw her, and like my mom freaked out and like slammed the door, but she didn't know we were coming in. And like it even like my mom's door was cracked, like it was like a freak fucking accident. And he like told his mom and shit, and it was a whole fucking thing.
Oh, he told his mom.
Well, I mean, we were like 10 years old, you know.
Okay.
But it's like, and then yeah, but it's like it wasn't anybody's fault.
Yeah.
You know what
Was
I
the
mean?
mom like trying to get up your mom's?
It was the
ass?
same mom. I didn't want to dance with this fucking thing.
Oh,
Was she
shit.
like trying to slut shame your mom for just changing innocently? And
Essentially. And even in also, like, we were play fighting one time at like a school party, and accidentally like both got hurt, and she was like off her meds and flipped out and was like, y'all can never hang out again. But we were over it in 15 minutes. And then so I didn't hang out with him for like a year or two, and
Just
we
one
would
of
like
the
sneak out and
parents
meet
who
each
wouldn't
other.
allow Yu-Gi-Oh cards because they were black spirit.
Yeah, my parents-
fucking
Mason's
magic.
parents?
My parents are that way.
yeah.
I remember once we were playing Legos, and do you
That's
remember
the devil,
when you
dude.
play Legos, they're fucking everywhere, right? Because you're playing
They hurt.
Legos. And this particular mother walked by and saw that Legos were everywhere and flipped shit. I had to go home
What?
because Legos were everywhere.
That's what I'm saying.
And our friend had to just sit there and fucking pick it all up.
I feel bad for him, dude. I'm sure it's fine now.
That
but
sucks. You gotta spread them out to know what you're working
That's
with.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying. And if you step on him, builds character.
Yeah.
Man, Legos hurt.
Mhm.
That's what they should do, or should have done on Fear Factory. Like, fuck Kohl's. Do like put some Legos in the microwave and throw them.
In the microwave?
What am I?
LA
what-
Beast did that.
How did I get
Spicy
here? What am I
Legos?
talking about? Oh yeah, he did. He set the world record for walking barefoot on Legos. He
Are
walked
you
like
serious?
he walked like 22 kilometers or some shit.
Oh, man.
It was like 2 or 3
Was he
hours.
bleeding?
Oh, so bad.
Oh yeah, when he finishes, he like falls over and he shows his feet to the camera, and it's
Oh.
far worse than you even expect.
God.
But dude, he just has to do something like that like every 2 months, and he makes like 6 figures a year. Like, wouldn't you do that too?
Sure.
Then you can like
Maybe.
you can get into hobbies. You could like invest your money if you want. You could just get a job that's fun for you, and like he just bought a house, like a nice like 2-story house.
Yeah, but that dude's dying at like 50.
Well, as long
Think
as
about
he
his like just fucking digestive tract.
I feel like
Well-
he's got that Mickey Mantle gene. Like Bert.
It's better
does.
than Shoe Nice. That guy's dying at like.
Shoe Nice,
And he-
Shoe Nice,
stopped.
he stopped drinking.
That's good.
Yeah, because doctor said he was dying. But the thing with LA Beast is he has no shame and he fails a lot. I feel like that will keep him from dying, and that's why I respect him, because a lot of people just wouldn't post it if they don't defeat the challenge.
It's
But
it's about the process.
it's about the process. And dude,
It's
his
the journey.
his
not the
brain
destination.
in the challenges he comes up with. I think my favorite one was when he got that drill that's like a pump.
He used it as a
And
yeah.
He used it to try and shove a medium Domino's pepperoni pizza down his throat in 3 seconds. Genius. And he wears like a NASA suit,
Yeah.
and he eats every flavor of Hot Pocket while he's submerged in ice to see if the Hot Pockets will keep him warm. And he had an EMT there, and they had to have him pull him out because he like ate them all, but he couldn't get out because he was numb from like the chest down from sitting in the ice. He was like in shock and shit. It's fucking funny.
I wouldn't mind
His-
clocking into that job.
His roommate was an EMT. Yeah. You got any stories for this week?
Work stories. On the topic of yard work, one time I was edging some flower beds at my parents' house, and a twig flew and hit me in the eye, and I went to the doctor, and they were like, "Yep, you got herpes." And I looked at my mom and was like, "What?" I was
One of
like
them Eskimo kisses.
I was like 13, 14 maybe. No older than that. But the doc yeah, apparently you can get eye herpes, but
What?
not like genital herpes.
Wait, is this
it's not
real?
the same. I swear to God.
You're being serious?
I swear to God.
Herpes?
Yeah, it was a form of herpes. Yeah, just a scratch on the eye. I just took some meds and I was good.
What? So is it like the other herpes where you have eye herpes forever?
No, it went away.
Yeah, but now
I'm
if you
baffled.
Cleared up.
sometimes when Garrett and I like Eskimo kiss, I got funky eye for a little bit.
Yeah, I can't wink at too many people.
Yeah, I wouldn't get close
I
to
do, though.
Mason. He's probably got pink eye at any given moment.
I've never had pink eye. I've had most things, but I've never had pink eye.
A lot of farts around here.
Like,
I'm surprised with how often you smell your farts.
I mean, when you fart, you're gonna smell it.
All right. What's you got any would you rathers?
I
or,
do.
Oh. All right. It's almost cliche that this is a thing, but it's kind of fun. I enjoyed doing it last time.
Yeah.
All right. It's just, I have a bunch, but a lot of them
Not
are.
cliche, kind of corny.
It's kitschy.
I like it.
All right. I think this one's pretty fair. Would you rather give up air conditioning and heating for the rest of your life, or give up the internet for the rest of your life?
Internet.
I'd
I
go.
will fucking live in a cave so long as it's not hot when I want to go to sleep.
I feel the opposite. I
don't think you've slept outside enough.
I've slept without AC in an apartment, which is arguably worse.
Yeah. When we first moved into this apartment, we didn't have our AC broke on the first day we moved in. It was like July. It was regularly like 100 degrees in this apartment.
I was putting
It was hell.
gallons
for like
of
2
tap
weeks.
water. I was putting gallons of tap water in the fridge and like sleeping on the floor out here. And then I would wake up like like so hot because it was like 102 in here. And then I would pour
my
the water
God.
on my face and body and it would cool me down enough. And then I would like literally sleep with a couple towels so they'd soak it up. And I'd go back to bed and I'd wake up in an hour, do the same thing.
So here's the thing: if you have the proper gear, you can sleep when it's cold outside.
Yeah.
But after a certain point, when you're butt naked, laying on a fucking cloth or whatever, you cannot sleep if it's hot.
Yeah, but if you're in an
Humid.
apartment, you have electricity. You can buy a fan.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. And that's why I'm saying get rid of the fucking internet.
Now I gotta watch my Survivor, dude.
I would rather have like heat and AC. 'Cause
But you can't
I
ever,
learned
you
that
can't
on
ever
the
use the
internet.
internet. Don't you
That
use it for work?
much. I don't. Okay, outside
Trey,
of-
no Snapchat.
outside
No
of
Google
work,
Maps.
No iMessage.
I could get by without
No
internet.
Pornhub.
I could get by without internet. I'm saying.
No Spotify. No podcast.
No
That's fine. I'll finally have some time to read a book more.
none of
Oh,
that.
fuck you.
You can't do the old man filters to turn you like 90.
I never do the filters.
I bet you'd be a good-looking old man though.
Oh, what if Trey just got super into like?
I'm hoping I get to keep my hair. 'Cause I like my hair.
He might. I'll keep. If it really does come from your mom's side, I'll keep mine. 'Cause my uncle's all in full head of hair. But
What
maybe
if Mason goes bald on the top of his
if
head?
I go bald, I'm shaving my head. Like I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna
The
fake
dude has
it.
had the longest hair since the dawn of my fucking life. Just goes bald. That'd
No,
be so
I grew my
funny.
hair when I was like 19.
Dude, come on now.
Is it possible to lose beard hair over time? Can you go
Maybe.
I
beard
don't think
bald?
so.
I feel like it just gets thicker over time.
I don't know.
Maybe
I'm just
gray.
asking questions.
But what do I know?
We'll
I'm
find
just
out.
asking questions.
Find out in the next couple
said
decades,
that?
huh?
All right. Would you rather never be able to go out during the day or at night?
Day.
It's
Night
tricky.
for sure. I fucking thrive outside in the sun.
I do-
It's dark. It's time to go to bed.
But
I
all the
didn't think about
fun
that.
shit is at night though. But if you never were out in the sun, you can't just take vitamin D pills and like cross your
Yeah,
fingers.
that's what I do now.
I mean, you can get it through like windows though, right?
Not enough.
Well, yeah, but you couldn't be
Not
like,
nearly
yo, let's go
enough.
swimming. But at the same time, you couldn't like my favorite, like going to shows is great. It's at night. And like
At
going to
night.
dinner at night. I love getting out of the movies at night.
Night,
Oh yeah.
night,
I don't know what it
night.
is
And you can
about
always
it.
go to
Night.
like spots early in the morning, and get breakfast at like 6 a.m. before the sun comes up.
Y'all are just night dwellers, which is fine. I like.
I mean, not anymore. I've been going to bed at like 8, 9 p.m. because I get up at 4 now with my new job. That actually isn't really a shit job. It's not too
Tell 'em
bad.
that.
I gotta.
You gotta keep them on their toes.
I gotta prosper some. It's only been a couple weeks. It can get bad. I've almost been eaten by dogs a couple.
Real bad,
I
real
never
quick.
feared. I never feared dogs my entire life
Dude.
until now.
Mason's a fucking new age mailman
I mean,
running away from them dogs.
yeah. I mean,
What's your bump, Mason?
ooh, well, I've been using this, like, it's not quite gochujang, but like spicy Korean barbecue style sauce. It's good on everything. I made tacos with it last night. I made barbecue chicken with it today. Fucking fire.
Do you know what it's called or who makes it?
I'd have to go get it from the fridge. It's at HEB. That's all I know. It's in the sauce aisle. My
Korean
voice cracked.
Barbecue.
Korean barbecue. It's a spicy one. It's like a.
Spicy.
It looks like gochujang, but it doesn't have as many chili flakes.
It's very good.
It's very good.
You work
Noted.
wonders with it.
I work wonders with it, dude. I'm gonna make wings with it
He's
tomorrow.
the chicken
I think.
man.
Stop. I mean, yeah, I guess I am the chicken man.
He's the fucking chicken man. Nobody's made as many chicken wings as Mason Vickers.
I don't, dude. There's some
Quote
people
that.
that have been there for like
Quote it.
10, 15 years. You know,
You're the chicken man, though.
I'd like to throw my bump out to the homies in Sangway Shugabog. First single off the new LP. Fucking slaps.
Good bump.
Minstrel Envy. Album's called Tortured Whole. Go check it out. Best death metal band in the past couple years. They're the boys. They let Garrett and I in for free for bringing them chili and weed.
Damn.
So not technically free. We did
Well,
buy stuff. But
Yeah, but we got to smoke a joint.
Fair
with
trade.
them.
Fair trade.
It was
technically
fun.
on the guest list. Smoked a joint with them.
How much
well,
were those
it's-
tickets? Y'all may have actually.
Oh, we.
Oh,
yeah,
we lost money
we
for
lost
sure.
money.
But it wasn't about that.
It was the experience.
yeah.
And
That's what it's all about.
the insane thing is, they're signed to Century Media, absolutely fucking huge, like worldwide metal label, and they got signed
Worldwide.
with 4 songs out, under 10 minutes worth of music.
Jesus.
And they're just one of those hype bands but it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like the art's awesome.
They're great.
The jokes behind the band are awesome. Music's great. Logo's fucking sick. And the guys are cool.
Yeah, I'm not usually into like jokey, like funny metal or music in general, but yeah, good attitude. They don't take themselves seriously.
Yeah,
which I love.
Which is
But they still got the riffs.
Exactly.
They got all the riffs.
And I think taking yourself too serious in heavy music, it can be a travesty.
Oh, so much. So much.
Like there's a time and place for sure, but like when it's an all day, every day, this is your persona kind of thing. Like I get it, but it's like, have a sense of humor, you know. You don't gotta be this like stoic, tortured person every day, you know. Even if you are, like, everybody laughs.
yeah.
You
Like,
know.
it's not fun to live that way.
Like,
And I get some people have to live that way because, you know, they're sad or whatever.
yeah, I felt that way for a long time, and
Yeah, it
Like-
makes you feel like you're doing something or
Yeah.
you're going through something.
for sure. And then when you actually go through something, you're like, ooh, this ain't fun.
Yeah.
I want to go to the beach and fucking throw frisbee and drink beers. You know, can't put that on the cover of a fucking black metal record. You know what? I just
It
might.
just hasn't been done yet. You could.
Yeah, but
Maybe.
I
it's,
gotta do my serious thing
maybe
first.
that's the
We got like
next,
5 bands going
Maybe that's
at
the
the
next
moment.
Nail Walker album cover.
Actually, it's another boat.
Yeah. It's another boat.
You even sail.
The Gutted Trout of Dear Life. Out in the next 2 months. I don't know how many songs are gonna be on it. Give me some time. I recorded another one last night. Fuck you.
That's good.
Fuck all y'all.
All y'all.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna
Fuck
bump
all
myself.
y'all.
I wrote an
Nail
8-minute
Walker.
song last night.
I was going to do that.
Garrett, you got a bump?
Yeah. I'll come. Yeah. I was going to bump Mason and Nail Walker.
Damn.
Damn, Mason.
I'm so
That's my boy.
Fuck
conceited.
that up.
But I'll bump oh, these crackers were good.
Oh yeah, they were only $1.75. They gave you so many crackers.
$1.75.
Been eating them with the
Holy
crab
shit.
dip.
Entertainer selection. There's like 6 different kinds. Sweet wheat, vegetable, that's my
Sweet
favorite.
Wheat. That's a 1792 bourbon. Pretty hard to
Sea
find.
salt
my
and
nickname in high school.
chive, beet and seed, poppy pepper, and stone ground whole wheat.
Poppy pepper.
$1.75 at HEB.
They also got the
Goes good with crab dip.
crab dip. We ate almost the whole thing.
Yeah, bumping crab dip.
I would also like
it
to
have
bump
gluten?
movie theater
Fuck
pop.
yeah, it's got gluten.
I would like to bump movie theater popcorn butter. I haven't had it in a long time. I didn't really like it before, but it's just been so long.
Wait, did you buy some?
You're on a strict
No.
Or you
popcorn
just
and
thinking
cracker
about it?
diet.
I'm thinking about it. I want it out of the, you know,
The tub.
You,
pumper,
if you
the
buy
pump.
the Orville Redenbachers,
it's not the same.
Can't believe it's not.
it's pretty
butter.
close.
It does, well, it's
You got
it's
to squeeze
the-
it over.
It's the experience. Also, people that put M&Ms in your
Experience
popcorn,
of
Fuck
being-
you.
Fuck you. They
The
melt. I
experience-
get chocolate all over
that's-
my hands.
not worth
it.
That's the unbump.
What's the
unbump.
experience of paying $20 for a fucking bag of popcorn?
Well,
That's what
usually
you're looking for?
I get a cheeseburger
I've got
and
some
a, and a
for you.
beer.
I'll melt some butter and everything. And me a 20.
You done talking? What's your pump, Trey?
What's your bump?
My bump is I started watching this past week, and I'm super late to the game. I know, but finally got some HBO access.
Nice.
And started watching True Detective.
Oh, that's not what I was hoping you were gonna say.
Season 1, phenomenal. Love it. It's great. Really good. That's like peak Matthew McConaughey, in my opinion.
Is that the clip where he's got the Lone Stars? I've never seen the show.
So, I won't ruin anything for our fans at home.
Yo,
but
it's like 5 years later. I think they've seen it.
basically, in each season, it's a different cast.
I've never seen it.
So the first season is just phenomenal. I've heard it's the best one, and I would have to agree without even seeing the other seasons because it's that
It's
good.
the best one.
So, anyways, basically, it's going back and forth between present time. The two main characters are older, and previously, like probably a decade ago or more, and they're like detectives working a case. And so, fucking fast forward, Matthew McConaughey in present time in this situation is like fucking older, has a ponytail, big mustache, ripping cigs, and crushing Lone Stars, and just drinking all day. And just fucking doing
That's-
his thing,
that's
dude.
the
Living
fucking
out
life.
like in the wilderness somewhere. And he speaks like he's a fucking philosophical poet. It's really good.
Fuck yeah. I mean, I've never seen
I wouldn't
it. so-
go philosophical poet.
It's probably been a minute since you've seen it. Dude.
I'd
It's
go
good.
with alcoholic who's done a lot of meth in the
Okay.
past.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it
So
Dallas Buyers Club?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Oh man, I got nicknamed that the first time I tried to grow a mustache. They called me AIDS. Because I looked like Matthew McConaughey's fucking nasty mustache on Dallas Buyers Club.
That sounds like a joke if you were
It was
overseas.
not cool to be called AIDS for like a whole week.
Oh my god,
At least
with
it was
no
only a week.
backstory.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh man,
He was my favorite, most
like
asshole
nobody wants
boss
to
ever.
shower with you.
Dude. Yeah. You had to go around explaining why he did that. And then while you're explaining it, you're just making fun of your own mustache that you're rocking at that point.
I thought you were gonna say Curb Your Enthusiasm, which I was gonna get excited
No, dude,
for.
that's good. I love the show. It's fun, but like I'm watching it. I'm watching that right now as well, and it's great. I feel like when I'm gonna be 60, I'm gonna be like a non-Jewish Larry David. It's all too.
What
He's
season
hu-
are you up to?
I'm on season 7 right now.
That's where it starts to really ramp up.
Really?
I-
Ramp
I-
up more?
I feel like they just get better as they go.
That's great.
I really
Yeah,
do.
I agree.
Like, I came into it on season 7,
What?
and then kind of went back because I watched it on a plane.
Oh, okay.
And like, you can get the gist of the show without really seeing the prior shit.
Yeah. It just makes it better though.
But yeah,
'Cause the
specifically,
stuff builds on itself.
like the most recent season, like season 10, when he gets the coffee shop, that is like the funniest fucking shit they've ever had in the show.
Fuck you, Mocha Joe.
Fuck you, Mocha Joe. You'll love it. I don't want to spoil anything for you.
good.
Pretty good.
Anyways, yeah. So yeah, fucking Curb Your Enthusiasm's great.
What
Fuck it,
a-
I'll bump that too.
Imagine being
but I like True.
imagine being able to eat lunch like that every day.
Just going
Just
out.
slutty lunches
Ooh, slutty lunches.
every day. Even if you get just a salad and an iced tea, like
Gotta
it's a
accredit
good
the
salad.
Instagram page Arbitrage Andy for hashtag slutty lunch.
I never thought about that. Like, you get rich, you get by Wagyu steak, whatever. Is there like Wagyu lettuce?
No,
It's all just lettuce, right?
there's different types of lettuce, Mason.
No, but I mean like grades. Like, is there like a super high end lettuce?
Yeah.
Washed with mineral
The
water.
shit you eat's probably like what, iceberg, and then you got your romaine.
Oh,
and then you got your
iceberg.
medleys.
I like some nutrients, Trey.
Exactly.
I got
You need iceberg.
Spinach in the fridge.
Spinach is not bad.
Cilantro and shit. Sometimes
Is that
I,
lettuce?
sometimes I like to just replace
Should be.
all the lettuce with cilantro.
What if
I
they
would do that.
crossbred cilantro and a head of lettuce, and you just had
That's my dream
giant
vegetable.
8-inch big pieces of cilantro?
I prefer spinach to lettuce, but that'd be great. I think I really like radishes too. I feel like they don't get enough credit. I could eat them raw.
No.
Alright.
I know my fucking buddy Seth from well, he's still in North Carolina, but from the last couple years, once ate a fucking white onion like an apple, just bit into it raw.
Mm.
Never
That's some
seen
country
him-
boy
Never
shit.
seen a fucking dude's from Cali.
Oh my
Not
god.
country. This guy's like a fucking half man, half horse though. What are those called? Centaur? It's like a centaur.
Oh,
He's going through a pipeline right now.
I'm just telling
Beast
this.
of a man, beautiful dude. But when you watch someone just bite into a fucking white onion like it's an apple, it changes you.
I like yellow onions.
I love all types.
When I
of
was a
Red
kid,
onions.
we were watching Shrek. I couldn't be older than 8. My parents.
Shrek 1, 2, and 3.
I was like, oh, I like eating onions. And my parents were like, yeah, try it, and gave me an onion.
can we play some
and-
Smash Mouth right now when you go back to the United States?
Oh, sure. I took a big bite out of an onion. My eyes started to water. And they're like, oh, is it good? And I was like, is it good? And I just kept eating it. I took a good 5-6 bites out and then gave it back because I was stubborn even as a child.
The best thing that came out of 2020 for me was I like onions now.
You didn't
Hated
like
them
them
like
before?
them?
Hated them my whole life. And
I love onions.
in 2020, I finally became accustomed, grew a hankering, whatever you want to call it, for onion. And I put them in fucking everything. I'd wake up, chop some onion in my eggs,
Yeah.
just eat it with everything.
I
Like, yeah, dude.
personally like
Sky.
to. I haven't really spent the time doing it recently, but like a month ago, I was super wasted, and
Puts me in the butt.
no, it was like 3 a.m, and I was gonna make a smash burger, and I was like, I'm gonna take my time and make the best burger on the planet. And when I worked at a Mexican restaurant, you have to saute or caramelize onions to put them in the beans, and I would do 44 to 50 pounds a day of giant fucking skillet of onions, like literally like 18 inches deep, like 5 feet by 5 feet. And weirdly, to caramelize that many onions, it only takes 2 cups of oil, which is insane for like 50 pounds. But you cook it for like an hour and a half, like medium heat, just like slow, just keep it
Low
from
and
sticking,
slow.
and they don't burn, but they will turn completely black, and it looks like something you don't want to eat. But if you eat one, it's sweet, almost like
Oh, yeah.
candy.
Love it.
It's very bizarre. So we put those in the beans, but I like to like dice them and do that, and they get like real tiny. Then you put them in the bottom of a burger, and then you end up have something spicy, like hot sauce or whatever, and like the contrast between the two.
That's step
it.
1 of both my chili and my German potato salad recipes.
My chili,
Caramelized onions.
What makes it German?
So most potato salads are like mayonnaise kind of base.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's like ground up horseradish or Dijon mustard base.
I didn't think it was possible, but that sounds worse than regular potato salad.
Amazing.
You also
Do you like mustard?
zig heil
Fuck
before
no.
and after
So
you cut
that's
the potatoes.
why you're a fucking disgrace to the motherland.
I'm Polish, bro.
Oh, there you
Y'all
go.
fucked me over.
Oh, God.
I'm nothing. I did
Probably
the
just
23 and
Eat
me.
your fucking potato raw and that's it, huh?
Yeah.
And your bread, Polish potato bread.
potato and beer.
Yo, yeah, hey,
My
hey.
family,
Polish.
my Polish
That's
family
who
loves
has
drinking.
that nasty beer that tastes like Copenhagen. We got.
You
That's a
told me
Polish
to
beer.
buy it.
Anyhow,
Dude. I kind of liked it towards the end.
it was horrible.
It was. I
only
will
got
say
worse.
this. I've
a good
never
time.
said this about any, not even beer, drink in my life. It was better room temperature.
It
I-
was.
It was.
It was.
And it was, but it was only 3%. So we would go buy
Oh,
beer and then
God.
turn to the keg when you're super wasted,
I
or you
remember
run out of beer.
I peed 3 times before I caught any of a buzz, and then you never really got a full buzz. It's just
No.
when it was there.
It'll
give you a-
maintain you, but you ain't.
just give you a headache.
It was like the middle of summer. Keeping that thing cold was impossible.
Well, yeah, it was only cold twice, and then we were like, yeah, you sold us a
You're not
$20
supposed to
keg.
Keep it like overnight.
But we
You're
spent
supposed to-
$45 on ice, so I might as well just fucking. Yeah, I'm not supposed to keep it overnight. What am I gonna return it after one night of
Should
drinking?
have drank it all, dude.
Dude, I almost wrecked my car because it tipped over in the back, and Trey was like, "It'll be fine standing up," and it
think
fucking
we've
tipped over.
Bomb.
It shook my whole car. I thought someone rear-ended me. Kegs weigh like 223 pounds when they're full. And then Garrett and I carrying it up the stairs. I almost had
This
a
one probably
fucking
weighed less because
aneurysm.
it didn't have as much alcohol.
That was good.
It's only 3%, dude.
Fuck yeah. I mean, we got through almost all
For
of
those
it. Like,
of you listening, I worked at a wine and liquor store, and they misordered the wrong keg for a customer. So we had this name brand, Live Oak Brewing, makes the best like Hefeweizen in Texas right now. They make this
pretty
weird Polish style beer that isn't made anymore for good fucking reason apparently. It's called like a Grodziskie or something like that.
Grotzstein.
I don't
Anyways,
remember.
We had this fucking keg in the freezer for about a month, and each week they'd like mark it down even more and try and just get this thing out of there so we didn't waste it technically. And I came into work and it was on sale for $20. A full keg of beer on sale for $20. I called up Mason, convinced him, talked him into just coming and fucking picking this thing up when he didn't need it. And
Still cost me $110 because you got to rent the fucking keg and the pump.
yeah,
I
but
was
you got
unaware.
that back.
Well, I was gonna
Kinda.
get it back, and then I wasn't working at the time, so I spent it all on booze because I have no self-control.
That's not my problem. You
I-
got a $20 keg.
I know. I just feel like airing out myself on
Dirty laundry.
on this podcast that no one's gonna listen to.
Anyways, we how many views did we get the first time? Can you see that on Spotify?
I don't know because I had to close that other account.
So it's still on there though.
Yeah,
How many views does that one have?
I can't log back in because I had to delete the account to start the new one.
Oh lord.
So
So is there going to be 2 of those on Spotify?
there will be, but the other one will be appropriate and have the correct name.
So you just got to contact Spotify to delete that one.
No, I can't.
It can come down.
You can get it to come down. You just contact Spotify.
I already canceled the show. It kind of broke my heart, even though we're
Well,
obviously still doing it.
Contact them. We'll get it off. Corrected. We'll get it off corrected.
That was rude of me. I'm sorry, everybody.
Yeah, we got like a list of stuff we're gonna fix going forward.
Yeah,
It's
but
gonna be better.
we're gonna keep steamrolling ahead. This will just be the old era. I was telling Garrett the other day.
These
I
are the good old days.
think it'll be fun if we can keep up with it by the time we're at like what episode is this? 113. All right.
We're gonna have some guests up and coming.
I'd say next
Show.
one we should try and get a guest. We'll
Yeah.
see. That's the great nature of this show is everyone has stories. You don't have to have. If you did a podcast about fucking harp players, you got to go find harp players. You got to Skype people in, whatever. We don't got to do that. But next one. I'm thinking we should have George. I think George would be the way to go. He told me he's game. He wants to be on.
We gotta get him a mic.
Oh, just
Zoom in.
record the Zoom call.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah, it'll be great. Y'all want to go ahead and call it? I think that's a good place.
I think so.
I'm happy.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in, y'all.
Hey,
Absolutely.
We love you.
Follow us on Instagram at Shiftwork Podcast. Give us a follow. Up and
And-
coming.
If you want to just say what's up, if you have a story yourself, if you're, if you just want to be on and you have a intriguing story, wow, I can't talk. Intriguing story,
Shit job.
shit job, yeah. Email us at shiftworkpodcast@gmail.com. It'd be cool if we could get someone that has like, I don't know, just something we're not super familiar with, like if you're like a pilot or a stripper or something. It'd be great.
Oh, I know a pilot. My
Did they
cousin's
strip?
married to a pilot.
No
my,
way.
My uncle's an international pilot still. He's been
Aye,
flying
fuck
for
me. I shouldn't have
fucking
said pilot.
decades, dude. Corpus Christi trains all the pilots for the Navy and the Marine Corps and the Coast Guard.
Uh-oh.
Alrighty, y'all.
Until next time.
We love you guys. Have a good one.
Have a good one. We love you. Keep punching that card.